It was 9:30 in the night. A bus of students from a senior college in Kolhapur going to Dharamsab was passing through a forest path. After completing the trip, they were returning to Dharamsab. All the students were tired and fell asleep due to the fun they had had all day. Vikas Sar and Social Sar were snoring near the door seat. Mama, the bus driver, was also driving the bus in her sleep. Peon on his horn seat. Pandu Mama had just finished his meal when a herd of wild boars came in front of the bus. Vijay Mama stopped the bus in the forest. After some time, when the road was clear, the bus started moving again. After some time, Vikas was sitting in the second seat behind him, and Sham woke up from his nap. Sham was 21 years old. He was very good at studies, but he was always alone. He did not get along with anyone, nor did he have any friends. He sat alone in the second seat. It was time to go to the toilet, sir. He opened his eyes half opened and looked out of the window, but the bus was still in the forest. Just sit for a while. When the forest ends, pick me up. I will stop the bus, he said. And then he closed his eyes and fell asleep. In the evening, he looked out of the bus window and waited for the forest to end. In a short time, the forest ended and the bus reached a deserted place. He gave way to Vikas Sar and asked the driver to stop the bus. As soon as the bus stopped, Vikas Sar said, "Someone, if you have to use the toilet, get off now. Otherwise, you will just have to go straight to Darashio and stop." Sitting on the seat, Shrikant woke up from his sleep. Vikas got out of the bus first with a flashlight. Sham and Shrikant also got out after them. They both went to use the toilet separately behind a bush. Sham came back after using the toilet, but Shrikant had not come yet. Then Shrikant shouted loudly. Hearing his voice, the driver and the peon also got down. They were all about to get back on the bus when a bike came in front of the bus and stopped. "Bhai Saheb, why are you not here? Don't you know that people always get cheated on this route?" It seems the bikers had cheated. On hearing the name, Vikas Sir said, "Yes, I know. We are just getting out of the bus and that's all." "I am sitting, sir." "What cheat is the man talking about?" Peon was talking about it from the next seat and turned to Vikas Sir. "Pocha Chakve means ghost in Hindi. People who die while traveling at night become ghosts. Ghosts catch travelers while traveling at night and do not let them reach their destination. They just keep them wandering around the same place. No matter how much you run or drive your car fast, you will reach the same place where ghosts caught you, or else those people will stray from the path and reach the place where ghosts want to take them." Vikas Sir told him that they wander the path until the sun sets. As soon as the sun sets, their strength decreases. I have some driver friends who were also caught by the sly. They say that the sly only catches those pilgrims who are tired because it is very easy to dominate them. Then the sly is very strong. "It is dangerous," he said, shaking his paw. "Hey, it is not dangerous. It is all blind faith. When a driver gets tired, it becomes difficult for him to understand the path at night, so he gets confused and he wanders the path. This is what the ignorant people have called a ghost, i.e., a sly or a sly person." Vikasar said this. "Listen to all the things Shyam and Shirkan say. They were not there. There are tricks and some tricks are even deadly. My grandfather was so worried about tricks that he was dying. All the accidents that happen at night, some of them are due to tricks. They are the merciless victims of the night. The fatigue and fear of the pilgrims are their strength. Like hunters, they scare the pilgrims, chase them away and hunt them down by taking their lives. All we know is that they died in a car accident, but the reason for their death is tricks. The night has been a nightmare." He said in a voice, "The head of this drum." Don't listen to anything, his old friend, the writer. Yes, I must have heard these things from him and the writer. Take the back seat. Sitting on, Shrikant said, "Shrikant, shut up and sleep, he said while dotting, and after that, everyone closed their eyes and fell asleep. For a while, Sam was still awake and looking out of the window. He was just passing through the middle of a forest when he saw that there was a closed teapot on the side of the road. But this teapot, I had seen that pot in the forest before. He said to himself and looked outside the window. Then he realized that it was the same forest that he had come from before the deserted place. He ran to the driver because Mama was driving the bus in his sleep, blinking his eyes in between. "Vijay Mama, in which forest is the bus?" Yes, it must be in some forest. There is less forest on the way, isn't it? Mama, we have reached back to the same forest where the wild boars had come in front of the bus. No, son, you are misunderstanding something. When did that forest leave us behind? Their argument? Vikas woke up from his sleep. What happened last night? Let's hide from each other. It seems that he has caught us because the bus has returned to the same forest where Vikas, sir. I wasn't trusting him like the driver, sir. If you don't believe me, look outside. In a moment, you'll see a truck on the side of the road that is overturned in an accident. It was over, and after some time, everyone saw the overturned truck on the side of the road. Everyone was surprised to see this. The driver also agreed that Sham was telling the truth. Only then did the forest end, and the bus reach the same deserted place where she had stopped to use the toilet some time ago. Seeing this, everyone's eyes were filled with tears. Vikas's head was just round. Sharikan had come forward from the back seat. Everyone's face had turned pale. The bus was still walking on the road when it reached the same forest again. They all knew that the bus had been caught by the camouflage. The driver was looking to see if there was any other way. But still the bus kept coming back to the same forest. It seemed that there was only one path in the whole world that leads around and back to this forest. How did you get out of this camouflage just now? I have heard that you can get out of the camouflage only when. If it gets morning, it means we will have to travel through this road all night, from the forest to the desert and back again. Why don't we wait for morning in the forest and stay in this deserted place? But the driver stops while driving the bus. I said, but maybe I heard that stopping in camouflage is not a good thing. No, sir. My sister-in-law told me that if we find a safe place, there is no problem in staying. That's all I've told you. There is no way, but it's not for now. And anyway, if the camouflage that has caught us gets weak, its powers will weaken in a short time, and we will get rid of the camouflage, then that camouflage can't catch us at all. The social head who was sleeping after hearing this woke up. What happened? Social head. He said while taking a bath, only then everyone told him about the weak knee. Hearing this, the social head almost lost consciousness, but only then the driver started to walk with poison. Ahead there is a village. Listen to this. Then everyone ran towards the driver. Then they saw a board on the side of the road which said, "You are welcome in Boar Village. See, you have to walk with social distancing. This is my village, but how did we reach here so quickly? It has been barely 2 hours since we left Kolhapur, and my village is 6 to 7 hours away from Kolhapur. This is not your village. Hey, sir, it is a deception, your mouth." After hearing the name of Boar Village, the deception is misleading us by showing us Boar Village. But it is a good thing. The village has arrived. I think we should find a safe place here and hide. And who can have a more safe place than the house of a social leader? But staying in one place in disguise is not free from danger. And disguise itself is a danger. How can he keep a safe place in himself? Do you know more than me? Since childhood, I have been hearing and reading about ghosts. I have come, so stay. But even then, they saw a crowd of people in their street. The bus could not go forward. That is why they parked the bus far away. The people standing in the crowd were crying loudly, and the crowd was heading towards the house of the social czar. Hearing the crying of the crowd, all those people got scared. The social czar got off the bus and entered the crowd. Everyone followed them and got lost in the crowd. They all reached in front of the house of the social czar, tearing through the crowd. And seeing the sight ahead, their souls trembled because there were 4 bodies covered in blood on the ground, and those bodies were the bodies of the social czar's wife, child, and their mother and father. All of them had been killed with a sharp weapon. Seeing the bodies of their own family, the social czar's heart was broken, and they cried, "What happened? Who killed them?" Ask the one-eyed old man crying, "Today your wife killed you. She slit the throats of your child and your parents and killed them. She put it in her mouth and then slit her own throat. Did she make herself happy? But why? Why did she do that? Hey, you made her do that. She must have been forced to do it. Otherwise, she would have been very. She is a very sensible and kind-hearted person." What? Even after so many years of marriage, I have never made her cry, and you blame me. You are the one who made him do this. You have forced him to do this. Take this knife and atone for your sin by sacrificing your life. What are you doing living alone in this world? You will sacrifice your life. Otherwise, his soul will never find peace. I don't know, social media. What happened to him? He got caught up in the man's words. It seemed that he was captivated by his words. He took that knife in his hand and he said, crying, "Yes, yes, I will atone for this. I will sacrifice my life." Then One Eye. The man with one eye said, they were shouting. Just then the one-eyed man cut Sushal's throat with a knife and severed his head from the ground. He held his head in his hand and threw it in the air outside the crowd. He came straight in front of Shrikant and Shem. They both looked at him then. The one-eyed man. The man said, "Brothers, these citizens have made Sushil play. Catch him too and cut his throat." Cut it. The people standing in the crowd turned towards all these people. They were looking at them with anger. Only then did they hear the sound of the bus horn. A voice came. "Run quickly, quickly." To the driver sitting in the bus, Mama called out to him. As soon as he heard his voice, Sham, Shirkan, Vakasar, and Pawan ran towards the bus. The crowd was chasing them. As soon as all these people got into the bus, the villagers pelted stones at the bus. The glass of the bus broke, and the pieces of it entered the children's bodies. But none of them woke up from their sleep, because they were all enthralled by the sounds of the jalava and fell asleep. Glass pieces also entered the bodies of Sham, Vakas, and Shakan. Some people stood in front of the bus and were pushing the bus off the road. That's when the driver put the bus on them, and the bus left from there. Just as the bus came from the village, everyone was busy removing the glass pieces from their hands. The partner stuck the glass piece in his hand and was removing it. That's when the pawn came there. "Brother, I'll remove it," he said, because the partner was his sister's son. The bus had returned to the forest again. I don't know when he would come back. Them. Social Sar had just been defeated. Everyone was shocked. "Sham, tell us what to do now. What should we ask him for?" Today, the social leader lost his life. It's gone, and we are all children dying. Shut up. We tried to save them, but they themselves couldn't stop their own brother. And that's why they got killed in it. It's not my fault. Shame on you, he said while giving it. But what can we do now? We have to wait for the bus to get up in the morning and keep driving the bus without stopping anywhere. Hey, but there is not enough diesel in the bus to run until morning. If the bus's diesel runs out before morning, we will become victims of this tragedy. The man said, "Brothers, these urban people have made Sushil play the trumpet. Catch him and kill him." Cut it. The people standing in the crowd turned to all these people. They were looking at them with anger, and then the bus honked at them. The voice of "Run quickly, run quickly." Some distance away, the driver sitting in the bus shouted, "Mama!" As soon as he heard her voice, Sham, Shirkan, Vakasar, and Pawan ran toward the bus. The crowd was chasing them. As soon as all these people got into the bus, the bystanders pelted stones at the bus. The glass of the bus broke, and the pieces of it entered the children's bodies. But none of them woke up from their sleep, because they were all enamored with the sounds of the jalava and fell asleep. Pieces of glass also entered the bodies of Shyam, Vakas, and Shakand. Some people stood in front of the bus and were pushing the bus off the road. That's when the driver put the bus on them, and the bus left from there. Just as the bus came from the village, everyone was busy removing the glass pieces from their hands. The partner stuck the glass piece in his hand and was removing it. That's when the pawn came there. "Brother, I'll remove it," he said, because the partner was his sister's son. The bus had returned to the forest again. I don't know when he would come back. Them. Soshal Sar had just been defeated. Everyone was shocked. "Sham, tell us what to do now. What should we ask him for? Today the social leader lost his life. It's gone and we are all children dying. Shut up. We tried to save them, but they couldn't stop their own brother, and that's why they got killed. It's not my fault. Sham is clean," he said while giving it to me. "But what can we do now? We have to wait for the bus to get up in the morning and keep driving the bus by stopping somewhere. Hey, but there is not enough diesel in the bus to run until morning. If the bus's diesel runs out before morning, we will be the victims of this tragedy. This is also this camouflage. It turned out to be more powerful than I thought. Today the mother has settled down. Perhaps it is the Amavas camouflage. Guha used to say that there are many types of camouflage. the most dangerous of which is the Amavas camouflage. It only goes out to hunt Amavas. It does not like to hunt 2 or 3 people alone, where there are many pilgrims in groups. This camouflage takes over only them. They are the weakest and the most tired from the journey. It finds a person and scares them. And when it is afraid of him, it takes possession of his evil and the rest. It stays among the pilgrims. It roams around in this camouflage. It just keeps going around and around. And when all the pilgrims get tired, it hunts them down, and according to me, the one we are trapped in is the Amavas camouflage, and it is ours now. It is in the trap, Shyam said in a deep voice. Hearing this, everyone's. They all lost their senses. Okay, but now we are out of this camouflage. How did we get out of this camouflage? The driver asked, to which Shyam said, Now come on. There is only one way, but in this, there are chances of bleeding. Yes, what are those camouflage measures still ours? Some dead evil is sitting in the middle. We have to find him and kill him because the soul of the dead is stronger than the evil. It does not hide as soon as we kill it. Its soul is dead. The evil will leave, and then it. No dead evil will be able to enter because this low-sound camouflage one night, he is not in the evil of the student sleeping behind because he is not conscious. He is. We are 5. Why is one of them? But we are all alive, not in us. One of them is already dead and has been killed by the camouflage. The evil one has taken possession of him. After the possession, the evil one looks exactly like a living man because the camouflage is the power of a living man. But who is he? Well, Sham became serious and he joined Shrekanth and saw that the bus was still moving through the forest. The driver was following behind while driving the bus. He was listening to it subconsciously because he knew that if the bus stopped, Chlawa would swallow him. There was silence in the bus. Everyone was trying to hear Chlawa's name from Sham's mouth. Only then did Sham say, This is it. Shrekanth is Chlawa. What are you talking about consciously? Yes, your ghost has done a lot. He has written all the books on ghosts. That doesn't mean that you will say anything and we will listen. I will stay, trust me, all the partners were a disguise. When he went behind a bush in a deserted place, I saw him staring at some shadow. When I went forward to see, my check came out because of the thorn in my slipper. And that shadow was there. Kill him quickly otherwise. We all were happy to hear that he would run away, but there was something wrong in his words. Sham spoke with a firm voice. He is my nephew. If anyone touches him, I will kill him. Yes, Pound said angrily. Sir. Yes, don't listen to this Pandava. I also think that this is a disguise because we all heard Sham's check coming from the bush. Sham, of course. The driver is telling the truth. He was driving the bus. Hoy said, Hey, the needle of suspicion is on S. Sham, too. He had also gone behind the bush and was not visible. This development was out of sight of both of us from above. Maybe the camouflage pulled him under the bus and he threw the same thing. So why not these two? Could it be camouflage? Pawn said, Hey, I am alive. I am not camouflage. Sakta Sham said yes. Yes, and since when has this Sham been helping us? If this was a camouflage, then why would he help us now, you children? You were in the driver's arms. That's why this Shrikant is the camouflage. Lakasar said with venom, Hey, sir, leave this pawn. Now take the rod out from under the seat and kill this camouflage driver by reading his head. While driving the bus, he said, hearing this, Shrikant got scared and hid behind the pawn. Vikasar took out an iron rod from under the seat. He tried to stop him, but Vikasar pushed him and hit the rod on Shrikant's head. But Shrikant moved away from there and fell down. He was about to attack again with the rod when suddenly, Vikasar held the saw with his hands and remained there. Writhing blood was coming out of his head, and in a short while he breathed his last. Look, Sham shouted Vijay Mama. Come quickly behind them. These two, Vikasar, killed this Sanka. The driver stopped the bus in the middle of the forest, and he came running behind. He snatched the road from the pawn's hands and, You pushed him? You won't listen. That's why the driver got angry with me first. He spoke to the pawn, and he was about to attack the pawn's head with a rod. But before that, the pawn broke a sharp piece of glass and threw it in the driver's stomach. The driver screamed loudly and fell down. Then a sound came from outside the bus, and stones started being thrown at the bus. The pawn ran forward and saw that 5 or 6 people were throwing stones at the bus. People started shouting, "Get out! Forget it! Why are you sitting inside hiding? What happened, brother? Why are you saying this?" The policeman was checking and asking them, but no one was paying attention to him. Only then did Shyam speak to the partners. "These people are just a camouflage. We are stuck in the forest. That is why we are in trouble. Both the driver and the driver are dead, but we have not come out of the camouflage. This means that the camouflage is still between us, and that camouflage is yours." After hearing this, the partners' eyes widened. "No, it cannot be like this. Yes, the partners, you have seen how your mama took the life of the beggar and the driver. He could have just insulted them, but no, he took their lives. Now come back from your mama's love, Shere Khan, and look at this man. He is your mama." Hearing that it is a trap, Shere Khan thought, I fell for Shere Khan. Enough now. They will break the fence and come in and take our lives. Before that, we have to leave here. I will take the bus out of here. Yes, and you call this trap back and hit it with this piece of fence. The trap will die. Our lives will be saved, Sham said, and went out toward the driving seat. But do you know how to drive? Hey, my uncle has a travel agency, so I already know how to drive, he said and sat on the driving seat. He started the bus and started to light it. Pin reached behind Shrikant. Shrikant was driving the bus with great enthusiasm. That's when he heard Pin scream. He looked in the mirror. P. On hearing this, Sham started laughing loudly, and his eyes turned red, and he said in a hoarse voice, "But on hearing that I am the one who is, why are you shocked? I am the one who is in disguise. When a herd of pigs came in front of the bus in the forest, that's when I entered the bus. I chose the weakest and most tired pilgrim in the bus. He was sleeping soundly due to exhaustion. I woke him up and showed him my true form. Seeing my terrifying form, he died by touching his chest. I quickly took control of his evil body. That's when I saw a boy sitting in the back seat. He was half asleep and thinking of going to the toilet. I started my game. I told everyone in the bus the story of the disguise and made them believe because fear is my greatest weapon. I deliberately misled you all and took you to Sushil Sir's village and forced you to keep him in disguise. Sushil Sir, I made your uncle and the driver fight each other so that they could fight and die. And in the end, I made your maternal uncle bleed with your own hands. Say this, and he started laughing. My game, that is. Who was the victim? You took the life of your own maternal uncle, the maternal uncle who risked his life to save you, and now took the lives of 2 men. What is the use of living? Hearing this, tears came to the eyes of Sherikant. He realized his mistake, Sherikant. Come, sit on this driving seat and hit it against a tree. Take yours and all of them. The one who killed the pilgrims, looking into the eyes of Shrikant, said, perhaps those red eyes were casting a spell on Shrikant. He had fallen for Shrikant's words, just as Sushil had come to his senses and was ready to take his own life. Perhaps Shrikant was regretting his actions and was about to agree with Shrikant. Only then did Shrikant burst into tears and shout loudly, Mama, Chele, let Chele follow you. He saw that the pawn hit Shrikant's head with an iron rod and hit him 4 or 5 times, causing his head to throb. What did you think? You can play the game. You are the only one who can play? Hey, me. I caught you only then. It was when you were the head and the driver. We were smiling after seeing the death of. You couldn't hide your happiness. Then your words came to my mind, Yan. You misled us and stopped us in disguise. And because of you, the social worker lost his life. You accused me of being a disguise, right? And my uncle set fire between the idiot and the driver, and later you accused me, just to kill my uncle. And that's when the limit was reached. When you said that your uncle has a travel agency, while Sham's uncle sets up a stall selling Golgappa outside our college, Sherikant said, take the iron rod from your uncle's hands and forget about the camouflage now. You came from China to hunt. Wait for the night of Amavas, because today you yourself have become the prey. And saying this, he hit his head with a rod, and from his body the camouflage came out in the form of a black wash, and went out of the bus, and as soon as the camouflage came out of the bus, all the students came out of the bus. Oh, for the first time an Amavas camouflage was defeated by a pilgrim. Flying in the air above the bus, the camouflage started suffering from pain, and while being camouflaged, it went out into the air. That camouflage got salvation from its own union, because it is the nature of nature that whenever a camouflage loses to a human being, it comes to an end and it gets salvation.